The Recon has been revealed. Let's give our thoughts on that vehicle. A special edition trim is now here that we've been talking about for quite some time, as well as what's going on for the December 12th drop that Jeep is going to be doing here in the future. All that and more today in CRED, December 1st, Jeep News. We're very excited to announce a really cool giveaway for December. We went and picked up a set of brand new in-box Mopar JL and JT half doors in the white color. Also, these are the loaded up half doors, meaning they have proximity entry. So if you guys have a loaded up Jeep with that feature, that will work on this Jeep. What's also really cool is they do have power windows, power locks, and they are white in color, so they're very easy to get paint matched. But we didn't just stop there, so you're gonna get 4 lower doors for the JL and JT if you're the winner, but you're also gonna receive $1,500 in cash. That's US dollars there, and that will help you guys out. If you don't have a white Jeep, you can pay someone to get these paint matched, and maybe even watch our old video on how to disassemble them and some of the process that goes into that. We're excited about this, so make sure you check out our website for full official rules. No purchases necessary, and here you go, guys, a chance for you to get a super rare set of these. There's not too many still sitting around in the box, so enter the month of December 2025, and you got your own chance to roll around next spring and a set of cool half doors. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed your holidays, but we're back with Jeep news fresh on a Monday today. Well, let's first talk about the Jeep Recon EV. This was revealed about a week and a half ago somewhere in California at a private release where all sorts of other influencers were invited. Unfortunately, the crew here at CRED was not invited to go. So be that what you will, maybe they just know that we're not crazy high on the horse with EVs, or that they just decided to add people into the mix that had higher counts of numbers on their followers versus followers that actually count. Apparently everyone got free GoPros too, which is pretty cool because we just bought a new GoPro, so that would have helped out. But either way, Recon was revealed out in California, and they had some huge glamorous setup where this Recon was in different scenarios with the top off, with the doors off. I do like a couple features of this vehicle, but overall widely criticized online. And I will say one thing to the CEO of Jeep currently is I believe he made a statement that said, look, we know the market right now is not big on EVs. You got the tax credit rolling away, but we have so much into this vehicle that we just have to release it. So I do get that, right? Like, you've spent all this money on body molding, on parts, on pieces to put this vehicle together. To scrap it right at the end, it just doesn't make sense. But for us, another EV into the mix, right at probably, I would say, one of the worst times too, with all the 4xe kind of recalls that are going on, it just didn't hit right. It wasn't the right time to hit. I think a lot of people felt that way online, is that I think it would have hit better, and that's unfortunate for them because the timing was the tax credit went away and then a new 4xe recall came out, and it's like, boom, now we have a new EV. So they were fighting an uphill battle with that. To give the Recon some compliments, though, I do really like the body style and the lines on that vehicle. I saw one of the other Facebook Jeep people posted one that they saw in a parking lot, and I thought it looked pretty cool. It looked pretty beefy. The doors can still come off, but I think being a full EV, it's just a little bit different than what I would have liked. We're kind of looking at the Bronco Sport that's going to be released in China or Japan, that's like the gas engine charging the battery. I think this would have been a perfect model to do something like that on there. But being all EV, just, I don't know. We want to hear your guys' thoughts down below as far as what you think about the Recon, because it starts at 65,000 and no incentives anymore. The one thing I did like, though, I believe it's fast charge capability. I believe you can plug in a Tesla supercharger. Don't quote me on that, but I believe you can do a Tesla supercharger, and it's the new updated kind of framework of charging there. But overall, the Recon does get some features that we would really like seeing cross over onto the Wrangler and Gladiator. Particularly, I really like the side window panels on the back, how you can just remove a latch and pop those out like the Sky One Touch. I think that should come standard on most of the Wranglers and the Gladiators if that could be possible, maybe with the back window. But one of the biggest things that Ryan mentioned off camera is the wireless capability to charge your phones and devices in the vehicle. From what I could tell, it looked like 2 layers of charging, a layer up top and then a layer down below, because it almost looked like to me there was an iPad charging there. But let's get real. Stellantis, they offer that in so many other vehicles already. The Ram 1500 we have sitting outside has 2 wireless chargers right there that you can just set your phones in. Absolutely beautiful. That stuff needs to come to the Jeep. I don't care if they have to find a new place to put it or maybe put it in the center console right up top. It needs to come to the Wrangler and Gladiator for us to keep paying the price point that they're at. Speaking of price points, this thing coming in at $65,000 is just for 230 miles, and I think 230 is the base, and then 250 you can upgrade. But a Mach-E I had back in 2021 was getting 230 miles, and it was like $40,000. So we're $25,000 more than that for, once again, the doors and top can kind of come off. I think it's going to be a hard situation, but are these some of the precursors that are going to come to the Wrangler, the digital dash, the wireless chargers, things like that? Are they going to come to the Wrangler and Gladiator for the next generation in 2028? I think some of the special editions we're seeing now might close out the JL years, and let's talk about one that just came out about a week ago. But yeah, speaking of all those new editions that are coming out, if you guys recall, maybe if you didn't watch them, go back and watch some of the mega triple 3 news in a row days that we were doing here, because we got back from SEMA and so much was going on. In one of the back end sheets, they actually showed a photo of all the Gladiator trims, and then a buzz model up top was the 41 Gladiator Willys. And we already were talking about that. We've heard about it before. It was codenamed the Convoy Edition. Who knows if that's still what it's going to be called. But just to show you guys that we kind of know what we're talking about, it's now available to order on the dealership network. And we're able to see what this comes with. It's basically a Willys Gladiator. So it's the 41 paint on the outside, front and rear steel bumpers with a triple hoop bar, the performance hood, so the Mojave hood up front. And then on the inside, it's a mix of like tan and like a green burlap on the seats, as well as on the dash. So I think they incorporated the dash very well with this Jeep. No tan top, unfortunately, with the Gladiator. They've never done one, but I think that would have looked badass on a Gladiator 41. They should have went to the manufacturer and done, I mean, I think even regular folks with Gladiators would run a tan top if it was an option. Yeah. You know, I think and it's not much fabric to do either on those. Let's be honest, it's a top and a little tiny strip. But overall, the 41 is available to order. And in fact, some of our friends at our dealership networks have been ordering these to get them in stock. And as soon as one does come in, you know that we're going to be filming one, but we've already kind of done our own 41. I personally feel like this is a year late to the party. I feel like when the 41 came out back a year ago, and I know they were under different leadership, they should have done this on every model. Gladiator, Wrangler, and then maybe even a 392 41 edition. That should have been... I can't imagine being in a meeting and saying, let's only make this on the 4xe. There had to be so many people internally that were, you know, you can only speak up so much until you're risking losing your job. So I feel like that's where that was at. You can only speak up so much and say this is going to be the right thing. Ryan, what do you think? Do you think it's going to sell like crazy? I think a lot of guys that bought 41 like we did already did that if they wanted to. Like, oh, you want to take?
Yeah, I think people that have already bought the 41 are already doing this, or they're at least trying to replicate it in a way. But yeah, it's kind of a year too late. And you mentioned something about the 392 kind of 41 edition that they could also be doing too. Maybe that is one of the 12 ducks that they're doing, you know, and it's just one of those editions. Because I was anticipating this 41 Gladiator to be one of the 12 ducks. I think we did talk about it in that video.
The ducks are all Wranglers from...
So this is, and that's the other thing, there's no Willys 41 Wrangler yet. It's just the Gladiator at this point. So I think it's a little bit too late. I think people still buy that because it's a badass looking Jeep, and I do appreciate that they have finally done it, but it is, I think they could have executed more last year when this color first came out.
I would tend to agree, Ryan. I think that I think it's just a year late. I think a lot of folks that have got the 41 color had that initial thought that we did. So, you know, although, like I said, we are glad to see it. I think there's a lot of changes happening right now. And I would also argue it's because we are at the tail end of the JL. I don't know about the tail end of the JT. I'm curious on when that'll maybe get a refresh if it ever does. But I know the JL's been out since 2018. So we're 8 years into the JL. We're coming to a close. I would say the JK, it ran from 2007 to 2018. That was 11 years. So we got maybe 2 or 3 more years out of the JL. But right at the end of the JK too, they started doing all these specialty trims. So if that's a signal towards the end, they started that in 2016, 2017, and then 2018 was the close. So maybe we're playing this is 26, 27, and then 28, the new Wrangler will come out. If we had to guess, I think that's potentially what we could see happening. Another one of the trims that was out and about in person, the Purple Rain Moab 392 made its debut at the LA Auto Show. Obviously, we're completely different coasts here, but I'm hoping that thing does make its tour throughout the country. But speaking of these new models, one really neat thing is we are firing back up the dealership affiliate program, and we're making it a version 2.0 way bigger and way better than it ever was. So if you're looking to place an order for a new vehicle like the Moab 392, one of these specialty trims, or you're just trying to get a really cool Jeep ordered from the factory, using the program that we have on our website is a great way to do so. And one of our initial members here is Jim Marsh out in Las Vegas, Nevada. They have been great working with us. We actually had a chance to sit down with them and meet with them a few times. And if you guys are in the desert division of our Dirt Road CRED affiliate program, you're gonna go through them. So one of the ways that you can go through and actually enter into this is to go on our website. We have a whole page set up. You just enter your information and then you're connected right to the dealership. It lets them know that you're coming from the channel, so they don't have to make that relationship right from the beginning. They know you're coming from Dirt Road CRED, and these are guys that have a relationship with us and then have special perks for Dirt Road CRED viewers. So that's a really cool thing, is that you're going to get special perks because they know you're coming from our channel. And let's be honest, we're just doing some marketing for those guys. Stellantis marketing and a lot of the other marketing firms out there, they don't truly know Jeep, know dealerships, and then know the audience like we do. So we're just helping them out and helping our audience find a great way to order these vehicles. So if you are a dealership, we have a couple of these regions that we're finalizing out, but send us an email. We have our email posted, info@dirtroadcredmedia.com, and we'd love to chat with you guys about potentially getting you to be a part of this program. But it always helps when our dealership friends are watching the videos. Ryan, we can't tell you how many times we've walked into a dealership and they're like, hey, that's Matt and Ryan there, and all the dealership teams watch our channel. So guys, we're really excited to fire this back up. And just so you know, every single Jeep news going forward, we're probably going to make mention of some of those new dealerships that have officially gotten into the program. And we're hoping to have every region throughout the US filled up, so you guys don't have to travel as far to get your vehicles. But one thing that's really cool is, like Jim Marsh out in Nevada, they are not a CARB state. So if you want to order a Moab 392, you can do it through them. Currently here in Pennsylvania, order banks are not open for those. So very interesting. That's why we're hoping to have all these set up. So if you guys are in one of those states, you might have an opportunity to pick a vehicle up that you can't order from your home state. But more on that to come. Just wanted to let you guys know, everyone's been asking. It is live. It's back on the website. So after reviewing our last predictions as well on the special editions that are coming out, a commenter let us know that the file type was different on the 1212 versus the 112, and I think we had them swapped, or maybe Jeep had them swapped right away. But what we feel like is going to happen for the 1212 is going to be the orange duck with the white hat, and that's going to be some sort of homage back to maybe a heritage trim or the original CJ2A. We were just talking about this off camera. A lot of the CJ2A is the first civilian Jeeps to actually come to the market, were body color, and then they had white tops. These were either called Arctic tops, or you could get a white top on there. But one cool thing is they put white tops on these vehicles. A lot of these Jeeps were used in farming and agricultural industries, and you know it would rain a lot and get pretty inclement, so the sun would actually reflect off of the white tops. I thought it was pretty neat for them to do so, and being though that they didn't have air conditioning, it also helped a little bit. But our thoughts are that the Bronco, what is it called? The Bronco, is it called the Heritage? Yeah. That has white tops on it, white top and then white stripes on it, and you could tell Jeep is following their lead a little bit. So are they going to do a heritage style trim on the Wrangler? I could see them doing so. I could see them coming back out with juice, putting a white top on there, and maybe just adding some different things on the outside and calling it their heritage edition. So more on that to come, but that's what we're expecting for 12/12. We'll know in about 11 days. All right, guys, well, that's gonna be a wrap on today's video. Obviously, we're extremely busy here at Dirt Road CRED. We've had so much going on. Not only did we pick up our Jeep back from our friends at America's Most Wanted and did a full 5.7 liter driving review with even a special guest from a channel you guys might recognize. So if you haven't watched that video, be sure to check that out. But also we've been just kind of tidying up everything. The month of November was so busy for us as we were doing a Hemi swap, and then a week later flew out to SEMA for the week. And on top of that, we also had the giveaways running. So one thing I wanted to address too, we do give obviously the winner of these giveaways a phone call, an email, and we will reach out on our behalf. Be sure that we're not going to ask for money when we reach out, and we're going to verify that you actually placed an order for that specific item. But it does take a little bit of time for some people to get back to us, sign up the official forms, and then return those to us. So if you're not seeing winners posted yet, that's unfortunately why. We have to make sure that we do everything by the books. So we did have a winner for October for the lift kit. His name was Daniel. And then November, we are going to be picking here in about a week. That's so we can calculate and add up everything and then make sure it is officially drawn and everyone is happy on the back end there. So really excited about that stuff. We'll have some new products added to the website too. And if you guys want to have a chance to win those half doors, I'm like kind of salty salty that we're giving those things away right now. Man, a white set of half doors, you can paint match those, or if you have a white Jeep, you just got those and $1,500 cash. So what a great way to kind of bring in the December. After December's over, you'll have a New Year's gift if you are the selected winner. So really cool on that. But yeah, we've been kind of holding off on talking about this stuff. To be honest, we were a little salty about the Recon as we're seeing so many other influencers that had nothing to do with Jeep out there. So we were a little bit upset. I don't know. I mean, not that we're like the EV guys by any means, but I would say, and you guys might agree, hopefully you agree, that we have a pretty big following in the Jeep community. Arguably, almost all 90,000 of our subscribers are Jeep people. So we wanted to just kind of clear the air a little bit on that and talk about what we saw after we had a few days to process officially. So really fun stuff though coming up. We got a fun video coming out for Christmas. So something you guys are gonna be able to sit back and watch and enjoy, almost like a holiday special. So we're excited about that as we close into the winter season. Some cool mods videos coming this month. And another really cool video on the two-door too. I forgot about that. Middle of the month, we'll have a really cool video on the two-door coming out. You guys have been asking about it, so I think you'll like to watch this full one. But overall though, guys, we're having a good time. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. From Ryan and I, we couldn't ask for a better audience and better subscribers that are here to support us with us. And if you guys aren't subscribed yet, you know, it would be almost like a little bit of a Christmas gift to Ryan and I if you would just hit the subscribe button. We're trying to hit 100K before Jeep Beach of next year. I think we're gonna do it, but when we hit 100K, we'll have a pretty cool announcement too. So either way, thank you guys so much for watching. From Ryan behind the camera and me here talking to you, we want you to get out there and earn yours.